sponsored by Providence Holy Cross Medical Center, Hestia Med Spa, and Comfort Keepers in Home Care. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Gene Dorio,
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life, we have a gentleman here by the name of Curt Waite, who is a representative for the UnGun. How about that?
Well, this is going to be an interesting segment. The UnGun.
The UnGun.
The way I knew or know Curt is he used to be a what do you call him?
Auctioneer.
Auctioneer for the Santa Club when we would have our big fundraisers. And I walked in here and into KHTS and I thought, I know you. I couldn't believe who I was seeing. But now he's here in a different arena, and I'm going to let you start, Curt.
Sure. So the UnGun is a company we put together just this year. We're a representative, actually, for Byrna Technologies. We're a dealer for them. And the UnGun, we call it the UnGun because if you guys in the audience can see this looks like a gun, right? This acts like a gun.
Yes, I know it does.
But without the consequences. So this is a non-lethal option for people. It won't even break the skin, but it shoots a hard plastic projectile. It's like .68 caliber at 300 feet per second. So when this hits you, it's pretty devastating. It will stop people in their tracks. So we've been teaching, we teach classes once a month at our house, and we set up a shooting range, and people have an opportunity to come in, shoot it, play with it, learn how to use it, learn the ramifications of using it, when to and when not to use it. You just don't go around brandishing this because this looks like a gun. If you carry this anywhere and somebody sees it, they're going to go, oh, this guy's carrying a gun, right? So we keep it concealed. It's legal. There's no permits required in California. There's no licensing required, no delay time. You buy it right over the counter, and you can start using it immediately if you had to. Our training is really designed for people 50 plus, really. I mean, my classes are full of people older. The kids, most kids think they're invincible, so they don't think they need this.
Yes.
We're all kind of at a stage in our lives where we're not going to be fighting combatants anymore. We need to be able to keep away from them as best we can. With the rise in crime going on in the state, more and more people are turning to some sort of self-defense weapon or self-defense device. So this fits a niche in that market that we think is very viable. Anyway.
That's very interesting. How and why did you get involved in this business? You were in another business, weren't you?
I have several. I'm still an auctioneer. I still do credit card services for all the charities here in town. I got involved with this because my dog was attacked by a dog across the street, a Rottweiler who lives across the street, who still lives there, by the way. And we couldn't break up the fight. My dog wasn't fighting, but this Rottweiler just really was tearing up my girl. I mean, my dog is 230 pounds, and he was trying to get her on the ground. It's terrible. So anyway, 100 stitches later, and then I see this being advertised on a TV program, and I go, wow, this is a pretty cool product. So I bought one, and I started carrying it around in the neighborhood, figuring if any other dog or, a coyote or something was to attack my animals, I'd be able to shoot it, not kill it, and keep it away from us. And once I started showing it to neighbors, they were all excited, and I was sending them to a different website to buy it, and I'm thinking, I can do this.
Yeah, why should I give somebody else the business?
So I started the dealership, and as far far as I know right now, we're the only company that provides training. Most of these companies, I went to become a certified instructor for Byrna as well. And once I became an instructor, I started my classes, and no one's doing it. No one in California that I'm aware of is doing what I'm doing.
Wow.
It's important to me to train people. That's really where it's at. If you don't get some training on this, it'll just sit in your closet or sit on your desk or something, and you'll never use it. So we have people coming to us who have bought this online, who contact me and say, "Can I come and shoot it? I haven't shot it. It's been in my closet for 6 months."
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So we get them out to the class, women, men, it doesn't matter. They all love this product. Once they shoot it, it's not like a gun. It doesn't backfire. It doesn't have that kick. It doesn't, nothing's moving. All these parts, nothing moves in this thing. This is just stationary. It uses CO2 as the projection. So, yeah, pretty cool.
My goodness.
So let me ask you this, Curt. In terms of practice range, we have practice ranges here, Oak Tree, close by, and others. Do you have a practice range at somewhere where people can do that practicing and get a feel for their product?
So the beauty of this product is your practice range is your backyard or your garage. This is no requirement because it doesn't shoot anything that can kill anybody. It shoots this little projectile, this plastic projectile. And we have some training rounds. We have an eco training round and we have a powder round. So when it hits a hard object, it just explodes, right? So there's no requirement to go to a range. We set this up literally in our front driveway, and we set up 2 shooting ranges for people to shoot. And because it this plastic projectile doesn't break. So if we shoot this, we have to have a backdrop. We put up some netting there, and it stops that round.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we sell a little tent that captures the round, so you could literally sit in your garage or in your living room if you're a good shot, and shoot this into basically a canvas bucket that retains the round and doesn't let it come through. So that's the beauty of. Look, people that buy firearms, if they don't go and play and shoot it and learn about it, then they're not comfortable with it and they won't use it.
Yeah.
And for the most part, look, I'm retired law enforcement as well, and I don't carry a gun anymore. I carry the Byrna with me at all places. In my car, I have it in a fanny pack on me at all times, and I feel pretty secure about it.
You call
Let me
it
ask
a
you this:
Byrna?
with regular firearms, Curt, we're supposed to store those firearms appropriately. Are there any laws that say how the UnGun is stored?
No, I carry it. We carry it loaded. There's a safety on it. I carry it loaded with a safety on, and it will stay stored indefinitely. The beauty of the Byrna is the CO2 cartridge goes underneath the barrel. There's a slot here, and it goes inside of here, and it doesn't puncture until you pull the first trigger, first time. So that will sit in here as a stored CO. So this CO2 cartridge, right, will just sit in there, and unless you puncture it, it's good to go forever. It's really good. It's really cool. The only restriction to carrying this is you cannot carry it on your person on an airplane, but you can put it in your baggage.
Wow.
So let me ask you another question. So typically, for law enforcement, as you know, to differentiate between a toy gun and regular firearm is the coloring of the barrel. And like it's yellow or pink, or there's a coloration to it. Is the UnGun colored in any way so law enforcement can see that it's not a lethal weapon?
The problem with, yes, we have 6 different colors: orange, yellow, pink, tan, gray, black. We have all the colors, and now they're starting to wrap them. So you've got this is a Byrna launcher. This is called their American flag version. So you wrap this in American flag. My suggestion, and well, it's not a suggestion. If you have to point this at somebody, or you have a police officer pulling you over and you have this sitting next to you in your car, you got to let them know what this is. I've talked to the lieutenant here in Santa Clarita Sheriff's, telling him that we're training a lot of people that are starting to carry this, and they're aware of this, but they didn't know we were training them. So now it gives a little edge for everybody who wants to carry this. We give you a little card, laminated card, that says exactly what it is, so you could hand that to the police officer and say, hey, this is what I have in my car. But other than that, there's no requirements. It's common sense. Like, you're not going to point this at anybody unless you intend to use it, period. The mere fact that you point this at somebody, they're going to think this is a gun, right? This looks like a
Yes,
gun,
it does.
right? I mean, and they're going to go, hey, oh, and they're going to call the sheriffs, even if they were the bad guy. If they were going to accost you in some way and you felt the need that you were going to have some great bodily harm, somebody was going to hit you in the face, somebody's going to do something, and you pulled this out on them and said, look, keep away from me. You know, the guy, oh, yeah, you know, he'd start jacking around, and then always call the sheriff's department or the police department, wherever you are, and tell them, hey, I pulled out my Byrna. It's a non-lethal weapon. I pulled it out on this person. He took off running, and I just want you to be aware this guy's in the neighborhood, right? I would say at this point, 95% of all the incidences that we're seeing are people just displaying this, and that ends the confrontation. We kind of use the ABCs when you're walking around town. A is avoid, B is bolt, and C is confront. So if you are walking around downtown, for example, downtown New Holland, there's, some people here that are
Unsavory.
let's just say a little unsavory, yeah. And so you don't need to have it out, right? There's no reason to have it out. But if that person's going to approach you and ever, maybe you have your hand on it. We have purses now for women that'll carry that, and have it available to you, but avoid the situation. Walk across the street. Do whatever. If the person starts coming after you and you can run away, you do that. If you can't run away for whatever reason, then you don't. You stand your ground, and that's the confrontation part.
And that's when you pull that out.
That's when I show them what I have. Sometimes all you have to do is just point this down to the ground and say, hey, look, man, get away from me, And then if you point it at them, then you're serious.
Yes.
If you point this at somebody, plan to pull the trigger. You won't kill them, but you'll stop them. And this has availability of 5 rounds. We have a new 7-round magazine coming out, so you're able to shoot 5 times. So that's, hopefully you catch them in the first couple. But after that, that's it.
My goodness.
So as former law enforcement, would you say, Curt, that it's just a good idea if one of our seniors purchases an UnGun, that they should practice using it so they get a feel of it? Because as you know, using a firearm, kickback and things like that, you say that this doesn't, but you want to get used to any sound or feeling, or so that in a situation that where you're maybe even your life is in jeopardy, you're used to handling the firearm.
100%. That's why we have these classes, and it's a standing offer to anybody who comes to our class to keep coming back. We don't charge anything for the class. We provide the CO2. We provide the projectiles. They come and get familiar with it. We've had now 4 women in every single class that took my first class. They keep coming back. They feel more and more and more comfortable as they use it, and they don't even hesitate. If they had to use it, they would use it. That's the key. If you don't feel comfortable with it and you can't shoot somebody with it, then don't buy it. But after you practice with it, I can guarantee you will see the difference between this and a firearm, and you will be 100% say, hey, this is what I'm going to carry.
Wow.
So let me ask you this: how far, for instance, if you happen to have to pull the trigger and you fire the projectile, how, it goes 300 feet per second, but will it go 300 feet? So, because a lot of people in law enforcement, that, background is key. I mean, you can miss your target and hit somebody, an animal or a friend or another vehicle, behind it. And maybe it might not be lethal, but it could cause some harm or take somebody down.
So it shoots accurately to 60 feet, to answer that question.
Oh, 60 feet. Oh, okay.
And we do not tell people to use it at 60 feet. That's not a threat. Someone who's 60 feet away from you is not a threat. Somebody who's 25 feet away from you is starting to be a threat. In law enforcement, we used to talk about the 21-foot rule. And the 21-foot rule comes from the taser. The taser only shoots 20 to 21 feet. So if that assailant is within 21 feet of you, they can use their taser. They don't want to be confronting this guy one-on-one, right? Same with us.
Right.
If you're looking at a situation and all of a sudden they starts coming towards you, you can be ready. But unless that threat comes within that certain your comfort zone, and for you it may be 30 feet. I don't know what the distance is, but it's close enough where you can get off a shot and hit them in the chest. That's the key.
Wow. Well, let's talk about this in a few minutes.
Sure.
We need to take a break.
Okay.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
Laugh your way.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Curt Waite, who represents a company called the UnGun, and which is very interesting piece of whatever. It's a gun, but it isn't.
Right. It's a self-defense product that's not lethal.
Yes.
Right.
And we talked before the break about a taser compared to the UnGun.
Well, a taser has limited distance, as we talked about it. It shoots pretty much 21 feet.
Right.
And it shoots 2 barbs out, and those barbs have to hit the assailant, and they both have to make contact. So if you hit somebody in the arm and one of the barbs doesn't, actually penetrate the skin, then it's going to be ineffective totally. So law enforcement is starting to move over to other non-lethal devices as an alternative, and one of them now is the Byrna. We've got a couple hundred law enforcement agencies across the country carrying the Byrna, and a lot of security guard companies are starting to use that. So a lot of the security guards are completely unarmed, or at best they've got a baton or something. But that's hand-to-hand combat. So the security companies are saying, wait a minute, our guys are getting assaulted out there, and we have no way to protect them. They're running away from the scene. And for somebody who's protecting an area who you see running away, what does that say to everybody else who's there? Oh my God, this is bad.
Uh-oh, yes.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit at the break about this launcher is able to shoot a pepper round. It's the same size as this projectile, this hard plastic, but inside of it is CS and OC spray. Basically, it's a powder. So when that hits somebody, it breaks apart and a little cloud, a powder cloud, forms about 3 feet in diameter, and they inhale that, and then that's the end.
How interesting is that?
So
My.
it becomes a pretty devastating round at that point. In California, we're one of the only states that requires this. Every place else you can just buy it over the counter. But in California, you have to take a little online course that's put on by the Bureau of Security and Investigative Services, and that course, you take it online, you can retake it over and over and over again until you pass 100%, costs $49, and once you get that certificate, you can bring it to me, and then I can sell you the pepper round. Pretty cool. It's a way to it's a way to get around the law of not being able to do it at all. I mean, because you and I can go right now and buy pepper spray over the counter,
Right.
bear spray, whatever you want to have. And we sell it as well. We sell a pepper product that has our proprietary product inside of there. But as law enforcement, look, I've used that many, many times on people in fights, and I inevitably became affected by it because now I have to come in contact with that guy. I just sprayed him. Oh my God! Now I got to get up. Now I got to get him. Right. So I become I'm succumbed to the potential of having my eyes closed. I can't breathe. It's just terrible.
Right.
So anyway.
That's very
So
interesting.
if you use the pepper round, Curt, if you use that pepper round, you don't want to fire point blank, right? You have to be a certain distance away so that you're not affected, like you said.
Yeah, if you were to shoot, you could shoot the person at let's say 3 feet distance and then just back off, because that cloud is going to be there, right? And it stays in the air for a little bit, but then it drops to the ground. So it's not like if you grab the guy, which you're not going to do. Okay.
No.
Look, you're under no obligation to arrest anybody, confront anybody in that way. Once you have the threat is away from you, that's when you call the authorities, let them come in and take care of it. The beauty of the pepper round is that person who you shot is not going anywhere. They will be there because they can't see, they can't breathe,
That's right.
they're incapacitated, disoriented. That's when you get on your cell phone and contact the authorities. Get them there. Let them deal with that.
Wow.
You know, Curt, we had a hijacking of a car just the other day here in Santa Clarita. And not that this is an idea, because it's probably a pretty bad idea, but if we could have a installed ungun pointing at the driver's seat, we can launch the projectile down the line away from the vehicle. If somebody's taken off with your car, it could thwart it. But, of course, I would be afraid that it would go off accidentally. And when you're driving, it could be bad if you're on the 405.
I think that that probably wouldn't be the best idea.
Not a good idea, but that's a thought. Just throwing things out there, as we're talking about it.
Well, was the guy hijacked at gunpoint? What was the situation?
I don't know. It was in the newspaper, so I got most of my information from there. Could have been KHTS website, but they were hijacked at the gas station at McBean and Valencia, I believe.
Wow. Well, in that situation, look, you've got a situation there where if the guy's armed and he has a gun, you're just going to give up your car, your purse, whatever it is.
That's it.
Right. We're not going to confront them. But if the guy, has a knife, he's threatening you or something, and he's, a few feet away, and you have access to this, I'd light that guy up. Because, who knows, he's not going to come after me, takes the car, but then he stabs me. We had that race car driver that was stabbed and killed in Orange County. Doing nothing. I mean, he was pumping gas, and this guy comes up and just stabs him for no reason. So, look, this is not replacing your firearm, but it is definitely an alternate way, a non-lethal way for you to protect yourself. And at least you have something. I'm afraid this year at Christmas time, I mean, the way our economy is going and the things that are happening, our mall, we're going to be pretty susceptible to some of these people this year, I think, especially around the holidays. And I highly recommend. My wife carries this in her purse all the time. I mean, she's just, and she's not afraid, but she wants to have something to defend herself. She's had a few situations where some people have come up to her and she's scared, just displaying this is enough. Hey, get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you.
Yes, and nobody would really know the difference.
Not a chance.
No, I mean,
Not a
it's a
chance.
gun.
No, it's
When
a
I
gun.
saw it, I thought, what?
Yeah.
And even the title, the ungun. And I'm thinking, wait a minute,
is
that's
the
not
ungun.
an ungun. That's what went through my head when I first saw
Right.
it,
Right.
And it makes a lot of sense because that's a gun.
Right.
No two ways about it.
It just looks like it. It acts like it. Like I said, without the consequences of having it. I'm 100% in favor of people carrying this. I'm not 100% in favor of people carrying concealed weapons. Unless they have a permit, number one, and number two, they're proficient with it, and they know when to use it. You can't shoot somebody if they're gonna punch you in the face. You probably would never see the light of day in California. That's for sure. So
That's probably very true. Very true. But that is amazing. That it's a gun, but it isn't a gun.
no,
You know?
it's a great product. I don't know if your people can see this. I installed a laser on this one. If you guys can see that laser, wherever that laser points, that's where that round is going to go. So if you point this at somebody, you've seen that in the movies where all of a sudden these laser beams are hitting the guy's chest,
Yeah.
and he looks down. Same thing with this. If you add this as an accessory item and you point that at somebody with that laser, say, look,
They're not going to follow through.
no.
No. That's amazing.
Yeah, Curt, you know what's a little scary though, is if it, as Barb is there, and I'm watching on Facebook, if it seems and looks like a firearm, and somebody sees it, who might be in law enforcement undercover, or has their own firearm, they see your firearm, they don't know who you might be. Yeah, you might be the victim, but a lot of times, as you know, law enforcement comes in and they don't know. Everybody, hands up because they don't know who the perpetrator is.
Right.
So I still favor the thought that just like on toy guns, that there's coloration on the ungun, so people will recognize it's an ungun. It's not lethal, so that they don't pull a firearm out and take you out because they thought it was a real gun. That's even scary as well.
So this comes, like I said, in a variety of colors. The problem is, so do guns. Glocks are coming in tan colors. You can wrap your gun in any kind of color you want. Look, this is not something that you point at a law enforcement officer, that's for sure. But if a law enforcement officer comes onto the scene, it's important for that person who's observing to know why this is happening. So if you've got an assailant who's got a knife or something charging at you and you shoot them and they come on the scene, they know at this point who the bad guy is, right? After you fire and hit this person, don't be brandishing it around and pointing it around. But I always tell people, look, if I'm going to fire this, right, law enforcement has to say non-lethal, 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 right? That's their whole thing. And that's because they're obligated. They don't want to, there's too many cameras out there, too many people out there who's going to say, wow, he shot him with this gun. Well, he said it's non-lethal. A Galveston police officer pulled over, they pulled over somebody who was crazy driving, wouldn't get out of the car. They surrounded him. The supervisor came on the spot, had a Byrna. The guy is about 50 feet away from them. The car door is open. Officer says, hey, non-lethal, 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 get out of the car. Didn't get out of the car. So he fired 5 rounds of pepper into the door, into the car. The guy got out of the car after that happened. So it's a situation where, look, every incident is separate and different. You never know what it's going to be. And like you say, Doctor, there's a potential of somebody seeing you, but if a law enforcement officer tells you to drop it, you drop it, right? You're not going to hold on to it and point it towards him. Look, we're common sense people. We're not out there to hurt anybody. But if you are the victim of something, you're the victim and you can prove it after the fact. Believe me, there'll be people around taking pictures. That's for sure.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, and I think it's a great product. And, we were discussing whether you wanted to discuss the cost of it. And, I know firearms can cost a lot, but can you reveal to us what the cost would be for our seniors?
Sure.
For an ungun?
Sure. So it retails for $3.99. If you take our class and you buy this at the class, we give you 15% off of that for all the seniors. So it brings it down to about $360. And like I say, we don't charge the course, and buying, you don't need to buy a whole lot of. We do sell practice rounds. They're about $30 for 95 of them, and you can practice with that all you want, or you can just keep coming to our classes and use our product. You just bring your Byrna with you, and then we teach you more and more about it. Well, once you use it and get comfortable with it, the price is no object at this point. If it's going to be a self-defense product and it's going to stop you from getting harmed, then that's it. I don't even, it's not even, I thought originally when they came out, gee, that seems expensive. And then I started thinking about it. You know, I went and priced a gun the other day. They're like $600-700. I mean,
That's right.
And it's $1 a round to shoot it. I mean, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous.
If you can get the round.
If you can get them. Yeah, that's the other thing. And like I said, like you don't have to register this. There is a serial number attached, and the card that we give you, that's where you would put your serial number on that card. In case it gets confiscated by the police for some reason, because they want to make sure that you did what you were supposed to do, you can get it back. Believe me, you're not. If you use this in a lawful manner, you're not going to jail for using it. You're not killing the person. They're going to have some pain and they're going to have some bruising, but they're still standing there.
And here's the other thing, Curt. Think about this. What if they disarm you? What if the assailant disarms you, takes the gun away, and if they try to shoot you, at least you'll know, you hope, that they won't it might hurt you a little bit, but it won't kill you. No,
exactly. If they disarm you and this thing is off of safety and it's ready to fire and they pull the trigger, yeah, you're going to be in pain, but you're still going to be able to get out of there.
Definitely.
Anybody who takes this away from you is going to think it's a real gun. So, if they decide to take it away and shoot you, then yeah, you're going to survive it 100%.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So, Curt, you were mentioning, throughout the show, you've mentioned Byrna.
Byrna is the company that manufactures this. B-Y-R-N-A.
I see.
Yeah, they're the...
I thought that was...
Yeah, that's them. If you go to our website, Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A, Bash, B-A-S-H.com, ByrnaBash.com. There's some good information on there. There's a little video when it first starts up, about 30 seconds, shows you how it works. And then you can sign up for one of our classes. Our next one is Saturday, October 29th at 11 a.m. So we limit the size of our classes because there's just me and my other instructor. And we are hands-on with everybody. So it's important to sign up and come to the class.
So what was that date again? Date and time?
October 29th is the next one. If you go to the website, there's a place where you can log in and book a class.
And that's
can you spell that again for us, Curt?
Byrna, it's B-Y-R-N-A, Bash, B-A-S-H.com. Byrna Bash.
Byrna Bash, okay.
Byrna Bash. And that time on Saturday?
It's 11 in the morning.
11 in the morning.
And figure you're going to spend 2 hours with us.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's take a break now and continue this very interesting conversation. Okay?
Right. Very good.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
From the moment you arrive at La Michoacana Plus, you are dazzled with an experience like no other. With over 40 years in the ice cream and popsicle business, La Michoacana Plus offers an assortment of flavors you won't find anywhere else. Mango, cucumber, watermelon, avocado, soursop. These are just a few of the exotic flavors you'll discover at La Michoacana Plus. You'll also find traditional ice cream flavors. Discover the newest Santa Clarita sensation, La Michoacana Plus, in the shopping center on Soledad and Camp Plenty.
It's time to experience a pain relief, wellness, and anti-aging treatment unlike any other. It's time to check out Mend Cryotherapy. Relieve chronic joint and muscle pain, diminish soreness and inflammation, alleviate stress-related symptoms, boost immune system performance, and improve sleep and recovery times. Mend Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to Mend, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com.
If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The Newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
No words can describe the power of belonging to a group of close friends or being part of a family. Insight Treatment Center was founded more than 20 years ago to give teenagers a community of friends and family as they overcome issues like depression, anxiety, and trauma. The new Santa Clarita location is a COVID-secure environment where distance and good airflow are a priority. As a leader in providing intensive outpatient treatment to teenagers, Insight Treatment Center in Santa Clarita is here to help. Call 888-295-9995 or go online to insighttreatment.com.
In these challenging times with virus attacking, I built my immune system with IV therapy at Hestia Medical Spa. I'm KHTS owner Jerry Sreddy Goldman. My husband Carl and I believe Hestia's Medical Spa IV therapy has been a powerful addition for strengthening our immune system. I've been using an IV combination of vitamins and minerals to help me fight off COVID and other viruses.
Boost your energy and immune system with IV therapy at Hestia Med Spa in Valencia. Details at hestiamedicalspa.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Curt Waite, who's a representative for, quote, the UnGun, unquote. And I'm sitting here staring at it. And for all intents and purposes, there's nothing about an UnGun in front of me. It looks just like an UnGun. And I had to step away for a little bit, but I was wondering what a pepper ball is. Did you already talk about that?
We did. It's a projectile that has inside of it a powder substance that's made up of the OC and the CS gas.
Okay.
And so it's one of those devices that when it hits you, it breaks apart, and then it comes into a little powder cloud.
Okay, that's
Remember?
what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. I think I'm getting a little older.
Well, we all are.
Hey, Barb, your birthday's coming up, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It sure is. But on the 16th, I believe.
October 16th, and I will be 86. Woohoo!
A youngster.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so happy I'm alive and kicking. And I mean
awesome.
kicking.
There you go.
I have to kick to get out of the chair.
You'll get there, Barb.
Yeah, well.
For those who don't know, Barb was in the hospital for about 7 days, and now she's getting her feet back under her. So we're not only happy that she's back, but we're proud that she's doing so well.
Well, we'll see when it comes when it comes to next week, won't we?
Yeah.
I'll be back in that place again. But I will survive, absolutely and positively.
Good. So turning back to Curt and the UnGun, I think this self-defense product is just is great. And if we can disarm and disable individuals utilizing a non-lethal way, I'm all for that. Sometimes we can't, but when we have a product that is available to us, it's something that we have to think about. And I think our listeners should turn to online and take a look at the website. And you said it was Curt Byrna, BYRNA -bash, BASH.com.
Yeah, there's no dash though. It's just Byrna Bash.
No dash.
Yeah, no
Oh,
dash.
it's Byrna Bash.
Right.
Okay, so I thought it was dash, but it's bash and no dash.
No dash.
Okay. But they can go there and they can see the video of and what the product looks like, and make decisions on their own. But it's something that I think all of us should take a look at. To me, this is what the future is. We will be doing this, and we have to be comfortable with defending ourselves in some way or another, and we hope we never have to. But but to have an option like this, Curt, is great. Now, what about the site? Is there a way for us to call you or get a hold of you that way, or is it only through the website?
No, absolutely. You can call me at 661-313-0656. And I actually answer the phone.
Oh, wow. My goodness, what's wrong with you? You're answering your own phone and you own a business? What is this?
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah. But you do what you have to do, don't you?
Yes, that's right.
You do.
Yeah. But, Curt, this is just great information you're bringing to our listeners, and, something that some of them might want to take advantage. And we're pretty happy, when it comes to being creative and ingenious, and also the fact that you saw it and you're bringing it forward to those who are in Santa Clarita. I appreciate that.
Right. No, I've always done all my business in home first. Work with inside the Santa Clarita, and then there's more people in this city. I don't need any more.
Yeah.
Once again, Curt, 661-313-0656. Thanks for being on the show. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care, Providence Holy Cross Medical Center, and Hestia Med Spa. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.